It's Fight Night in the Adrian R. Center for the Performing Arts. Brought to you by the new Monster Energy flavor, Redundancy. Because fighting off a heart attack with our caffeinated syrup vomit is about as fruitful as thinking that electing an established Democrat into power will do anything to change the plutocratic dystopian nightmare that is the United States of America. 10 presidential hopefuls and 10 more people you've never heard of will square off in the most pointless blood sport since...
Get him! Get him! You got him now!
One lucky victor will achieve virtually nothing as their polling numbers don't indicate any of them having a chance besides maybe 3 of them, and even then, thanks to a corrupt and rigged system, Joe Biden will most likely become the nominee. But before everyone has to grit their teeth and pretend that he's not a conservative who doesn't openly condemn gay people for existing, sit back and enjoy this Monster Energy Redundancy sponsored poo-flinging festival that will leave the GOP smiling and eating popcorn because they've set the bar so low for what could be called an acceptable human candidate that they'll never have to try again. Not to mention be thankful that this will completely overshadow the 17th woman to come forward and accuse the President of the United States of... Sponsored by Monster, unleash the redundant beast. Kamala Harris. Mothers lock up your daughters and fathers lock up your mothers. Catch that incarcerated fever because Kamala Harris is bringing her prosecutional skills to the debate stage. Harder and faster than she does when she locks up single mothers for their children's truancy.
To everyone, a friend of mine actually called me and he said, Kamala, my wife got the letter. She freaked out. She brought all the kids into the living room, held up the letter, said, if you don't go to school, Kamala's gonna put you and me in jail.
Her candidacy walks the tightrope of wokeness, vying to be the first woman president while also being a POC. At the same time, a woman whose prosecutional history includes such transphobic cruelty that Mike Pence wants to call her mother. A man who cares deeply about LGBTQ issues partly because they directly affect him. He could potentially be the first openly gay president of the United States. He boasts a long list of admirable positions such as climate change being a national emergency and the adoption of a single-payer healthcare system. He also appears to be a grade A clown at handling the illegal killing of innocent black people.
I cannot hear Jordan speak if you're shouting over him, please.
When a shot is fired.
When a shot, I don't know that as...
Cory Booker. He may not be the first black president, but he would certainly be the first openly vegan president. Cory Booker has made a name for himself endorsing generally positive progressive ideas such as overturning the ban on trans people in the military and endorsing the Green New Deal. While he supports Medicare for all, he doesn't want to end private insurance, which may be in part due to his significant corporate donor base. Considering what a political opportunist he is when the cameras turn on, it could very well be that he'd be an effective president if we never stopped filming him. Andrew Yang. The technocratic Silicon Valley bro here to save the world with 8,000 policy proposals, each as half-baked as the last. The unlikely candidate to propel UBI to the forefront of the political discourse, using it as a Trojan horse to erode every remaining social safety net America still clings to.
We're on programs that we know are creating as many problems probably as they're fixing, if not more, and then do it that way. Like, do you think, because it almost feels like it's a little bit of a stopgap, that you'd still have to get to that problem eventually?
Well, that's the beauty of this, the freedom dividend proposal, is that you have the $600 billion or so, and then you're saying, hey, guess what? Like, it's now a new right of citizenship, everyone gets it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to dramatically reduce the enrollment in these programs very, very quickly, because a lot of people will be like, I prefer the cash.
Once gone and the parasites sucking at his business-laden teat are dead, he'll be left to fend off the massive alt-right fan base he's collected, known colloquially as the Yang Gang.
$1,000 dividend, you could be my best friend. Cash, 1K with the jewel pops, $1,000 on my fishing rod. Yeah, Yang Gang, we getting bro.
Bernie Sanders. Well, he doesn't believe in open borders publicly and frankly would have a harder time being elected president if he did than he currently does trying to explain socialism to old people. He's still the best chance this country has to shift the Overton window away from the autocratic oligarchy known as America. His superpower seems to be appearing more amazing with each video that his opponents leak of him to his rabid fan base of millennials and Gen Zers who don't want to grow up in a dystopian hellscape. O'Rourke. Why are you here? Amy Klobuchar. shattering gender and regional stereotypes by bravely showcasing that women and Minnesotians can be just as insufferable, abusive, and tyrannical hellish to work with as any Viagra-popping sociopathic politician currently residing in the Beltway. Julian Castro. The Democratic race is chock full of similarly looking middle-aged white men that share no discernible policy gravitas or political standing. But what if we were to tell you that you can have that same bland nothingness, but in Latino? To be fair, he does want to tax the rich more to pay for Medicare for all, but he was the pro-fracking mayor of San Antonio who now claims that climate change is a thing.
You're going to have to live with the consequences of all the decisions that we make well into the future, whether it's on climate change or our economy or student loans.
Bill de Blasio. A man who watched as Donald Trump, a clownish, reviled figure in the great city of New York, became president and thought, hey, why not me? Tulsi Gabbard. The youngest woman to ever be elected to a U.S. state legislator, Tulsi gained a lot of support from the progressive movement for resigning to endorse Bernie Sanders for president, when it was later revealed that she did so as a convenient way to counter a primary challenger from the left. A decade ago, she was a pro-life opponent of same-sex marriage, but has since changed her ways, yet her positions on foreign policy are their own slice of what is wrong with you.
And as a soldier, how do you respond to the much-discussed report on the CIA's use of torture and what some Americans have called a blot on American values? Do you share that opinion, or as a soldier, do you have a very different perspective on the use of torture?
Very bluntly, I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted on this report. There are, I think the jury is still out on the report itself. There have been comments that there are things missing or it was incomplete, and there are differing opinions on the report itself. But as I think about it myself, clearly we would not like to see any human, any person around the world being treated inhumanely. On the other side, I can also understand.
Elizabeth Warren. A woman with an admirable track record of taking on Wall Street and the fat cats while pledging her unwavering support for capitalism whenever asked.
I believe in markets. Markets could produce a lot of value, but let me be clear. Markets without rules are theft.
Her biggest scandal involves buying into Trump's racist name-calling and embarrassing herself by playing the Aboriginal card in a poker game no one asked for.
Her receiving the results of a DNA test.
What do the facts say?
The facts suggest that you absolutely have a Native American ancestor in your pedigree.
Still, compared to Trump, she's pretty much a messiah sent to save the world, but then again, most people are. Joe Biden. The former vice president who's never met a school he didn't want to segregate or a young girl he didn't want to sniff. He puts the O in, oh, he's not actually in the GOP? Having voted for Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the Defense of Marriage Act, supporting the death penalty, is against single-payer health care, opposes the legalization of marijuana, and voted for the war in Iraq.
I feel that your Democratic rivals are implicitly saying that you have issues talking about race.
They know better.
Are you going to apologize? Like Cory Booker
apologize
has called
for what?
Cory Booker's called for it.
Cory should apologize. He knows better. There's not a racist bone in my body. I've been involved in civil rights my whole career.
He has also taken time from his busy campaign trail to repeatedly reassure the rich that their wealth will only grow under his watchful eye. If you're looking for another status quo to rule over you like a less snappily dressed monarch, then he's your man. So scrap in and inject a can of redundancy directly into your veins as one of the highest rated political events of the year goes on to make NBC a buttload of cash. Meanwhile, we're left with the wreckage of knowing that there's only a finite amount of time to save the world while the economic disparity gap grows larger in size than Joe Biden's sponsored by Monster, Unleash the Redundant Beast.
And I get it. I get it.
As always, a very special thank you to our lords, Ricky Pilgrim and Kyle C., as well as all the other amazing people who make the show possible by donating to our Patreon. If you want to join, you can do so for as little as $1 right now, and it unlocks everything, including behind-the-scene footage, exclusive Patreon-only videos, and other great stuff. And if you guys want to watch the Democratic debates with us, because we're going to be broadcasting them live, you can do so by going to dlive.tv/theserfstv. We're going to do it on DLive just because we don't want to jeopardize our YouTube channel in case we get flagged by the big man or anything like that. But yeah, we'd love to see you there, and we'll hopefully have a lot of special guests and other fun stuff. So, and please sign up using the link in the description because apparently it helps us out as well. We don't really understand the libertarian fever dream that is
Lino points and cryptocurrency, but anything helps because this show takes a ton of time to make and we don't make any money from it.